Hi, my name is Shalisa Pitts, and I'm a senior at USM. Today I have with me Miss Carolyn Hamilton, and she has been my mentor throughout my project on police brutality in African American communities. She's a court clerk in Inverness, Mississippi, and she has been in the judicial system for over 28 years in the state and county level. Miss Hamilton, can you give me any advice on my project that you may feel like I can improve on it? Anything that you feel could add to it, I could take from it, your views on police brutality in African American communities?
Well, one thing I start out by saying my view on police brutality in the African American community is that from my viewpoint, I have observed that there is no respect for the law. Not in all cases, but in cases that are videotaped and caught on camera, from my observation, I have noticed that if the person has simply obeyed the officer, a lot of that could have been curtailed. And that is one of the things that they must do. They must obey the officer. And that could keep officers from getting in trouble down the road. That can keep us from losing people, our black people in the black community, or just anyone on a traffic stop. One of the things that I always try to educate youths on, and I mentor some girls in my community, is that you must have the utmost respect for the law. And I think with that, we need to educate our children in respecting the law, whether they agree with it or not. There, you can take care of whether or not you felt like you have been uh, done incorrectly or wrong later on. But the most important thing is making sure you come out of that ordeal alive, alive more than anything. Some of the things that I have enjoyed working with you on is you coming into our court system and observing just basically the court system, the people that you will see, and it's not all blacks. We had a variety of people that you would see, but you did get firsthand. You were able to talk to some of the officers that I work with on things of that nature. I can honestly say, since I have worked for Inverness, we have not had any issues of police brutality, and I'm thankful for that. I do realize that it happens, and I think it's one of those things that has happened for many years. It's just that there's a phone camera in every hand, from a 1 year old on up to a 90-year old. And if they feel like there's an incident that is about to happen, they're going to videotape it. So now, with social media being the way it is, uh, more of it is being broadcast and put out there. I don't think it's on the rise. I just simply think it's just being brought to people's attention through social media now more than anything.
More than anything, and I do understand. Can you give me any perspective on how you think we could go as a community in fixing the problem, besides maybe just parents talking to the kids? How can we as a community get out and reach others and and educating them on this problem?
One of the things that I try to do when I go to my training is I put pamphlets out in my community to let them know what laws have changed. Um, Ignorance of the law is no defense. When we become of a certain age, we need to educate ourselves on what the law is. And most time, if it don't feel right, it's not right. So other than that, the only thing that I could suggest is, I just feel like people who are in the judicial system and law enforcement, especially in leadership position, they should take an extra step in making sure that these laws are out there and that the community are aware of laws that may have changed that could affect them. Because something as simple as a texting and driving, the community may not be aware of that. It's not a criminal offense. It's actually now just a civil offense. However, it could cause a traffic stop. and that prompts the traffic stop. And once the traffic stop happens, there are other things that could happen as a result of it. There could be the smell of cigarette smoke that may smell like marijuana. That's probable cause to go further. Now we're talking about a $25 ticket that could turn into thousands of dollars, jail time, and that kind of thing. But you need to educate yourself on those things. Had they known that you can't text and drive, then that wouldn't have been a probable cause for the officer to stop them. And not that I'm condoning them smoking weed or whatever, but the fact that he or she may have smelled it on the scene gave him reason to go further. All he needs is one little small reason to stop that vehicle. And everything else is just like a domino effect. You just have to make sure you have all your cards in order and make sure your seatbelts are on, make sure you have your insurance, make sure you're driving the speed limit, make sure your music isn't loud. Some of those things that we can do ourselves to keep from attracting attention and being more responsible. That does come from parenting. That definitely comes from parenting. But as far as the new laws that are passed that could potentially cause one little simple traffic stop to turn into something much bigger, and they were not aware that officer could, that officer could stop them for it. Those are the kind of things that we do need to educate our community on.
I do understand. And is there, like, with the project, you've helped me and you've educated me a lot on the perspective of police officers. Do you think that eventually youth will be able to just accept authority, respect police authority? Even though it does start maybe in the family, do you think as a community, if one person stands up and say, hey, can we all just have this after school program and teach each other how to respect the police and let them know that they're actually here to help us? Do you think that will actually help?
That could help. The problem is when you run into that kind of thing is that people tend not to attend those kind of community activities, and the audience that you really want to reach, they are not there. They're not there. More than likely, you have your concerned citizens there, your law-abiding citizen there who just want to be informed. Those are going to be the people there. The audience that you really need to target will not be in attendance. You may have an aunt or an uncle or a friend of someone who knows a person that really should be here that could possibly get this information to them, but for them to feel the actual impact of that workshop, they would really need to be there. And that's not to say that they don't need to have those workshops. It's just that from my experience, when we do offer those kind of workshops available to the public, the target group that we really need to reach, they're not in attendance.
And that is sad, and that's a problem that we're all run into with this generation. Is like, if it's not on Facebook, we won't reach them.
No.
If it's not on Instagram, we won't reach them. So there's a thing that we have to do. We have to come up with a way to educate others. And during my project, I've noticed that educating others on police brutality, like how to treat a police officer, and not necessarily a police officer, the elder in your community, it all starts there. Respect. It all starts there, and respect will take people a long way. And I can say that is what you've helped me realize, that throughout this project, that if no matter how or what the situation is, if you respect the police officer, they will give you that respect in return.
They will.
And I do thank you for taking the time out to help me with this project, because Miss Hamilton, I know it's been a long time coming.
Yes, it has.
And is there anything else you would like to give me? Any advice? Maybe any last minute things I could add to my project?
Well,
that will help me?
Not much, but just people just need to try to be more informed for themselves. Reading doesn't hurt anyone, and just picking up or just asking someone who does know the law, that will help. But we have to want to help ourselves first before we can help the next person. So, but other than that, we just really need to be more responsible for our own actions and ourselves, and each one can reach one, and if you take that on, you'd be surprised how far that goes. Each one reach one. Just you tell someone and then encourage the next person to tell someone, and so forth and so on.
And I do think that will work.
I think it will. It will help.
Well, do you have any questions for me, Miss Hamilton?
No, I don't. I don't. It's been a pleasure working with you.
And I enjoy everyone here. Well, at Inverness Hall.
Thank you.
I thank you for letting me in your house.
No
Such
problem.
late notice. I do understand. Couldn't get it done at the office, but
Yeah.
I do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Miss
And
Hamilton.
good luck to you.
Thank you.